Hello everyone, today we're exploring a crucial step in herb gardening, transplanting our seedlings into bigger pots. This isn't just a routine task, it's a pivotal moment that paves the way for stronger, healthier plants in our herb garden. Our little herb friends start with cotyledons, or seed leaves. These aren't the leaves you're looking for. We are looking for true leaves. True leaves have a distinct shape that is more intricate than the simple seed leaves. The seed leaves here are very simple, and the true leaves look more like the actual herb leaves that are eventually going to come in. The true leaves are very important for photosynthesis, and we need to wait until there are one or more full sets of true leaves in before we even think about transplanting. But once the true leaves are in, it's time to upsize to bigger pots. Now, we need to make sure we get our timing right depending upon the type of herb. We don't want to transplant too early or too late. For instance, basil and cilantro are eager beavers, ready for a pot upgrade in just 3 to 5 weeks. Rosemary, on the other hand, can take its sweet time, stretching up to 8 to 10 weeks before it's ready for transplant. Remember, each herb has its own schedule, so let's respect their individual needs. Choosing the right home for our herbs is key. First up, pots. Size matters here, folks. A pot just 2 inches larger than the container that the herb is coming from is ideal. So if you're in a 4-inch pot, upgrading to a 6-inch pot would be the best way to go. Too big and you run the risk of waterlogged soil and sluggish growth. Now let's talk soil. It's more than just dirt. It's the foundation for our herbs. The trick is to choose a well-draining mixture, ideally designed for herbs or vegetables. These mixes are rich in organic matter, like compost or peat moss. Stay away from heavy mixtures as they can lead to root rot. Pro tip, for drought-tolerant herbs like rosemary, sage, and thyme, mix in some cactus mix for even better drainage. I typically mix in 1 part cactus mix to 2 parts potting mix for these types of herbs. Alright, so an hour or 2 before transplanting, make sure to give your herb seedlings a good watering. This little step is a big help for getting the seedlings out of their containers without damaging their root systems. Okay, so let's get our hands dirty with the transplanting process. We start by selecting a pot with drainage holes. This is crucial for healthy roots. Fill it about 1/3 full with a well-draining potting mix, making a small hole in the center for the seedling's roots. Next, we gently loosen the soil around our seedling using a fork or spoon, carefully lifting it from the seed tray. Remember, tug on the soil, not the stem, to avoid damaging those delicate roots. Before we move on, let's inspect the roots. If you see any tangled or circling roots, gently tease them apart. This little step encourages healthier growth in their new home. Now, place your seedling in the pot. Make sure the hole is deep enough for the roots and that the seedling sits at the same depth as its original container. Time to fill in the gaps. Using a spoon or your fingers, add soil around the seedling, but don't press down too hard. We don't want compacted soil. Lastly, water your newly transplanted herb thoroughly to settle the soil around the roots, but be mindful of overwatering. And there you have it, folks, a step-by-step guide to transplanting your herb seedlings. Remember, the key to a thriving herb garden lies in the care and attention you give during these early stages. Keep an eye on your potted herbs, water them as needed, and ensure that they get plenty of sunlight or light from growing lights. With a little patience and love, you'll soon have a lush and aromatic herb garden. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, share it with fellow gardening enthusiasts, and don't forget to subscribe for more gardening tips. Happy gardening, and thanks for stopping by.